I just gotta pause this.
I fought it.
Hold on.
This works.
Okay, we will call to order. Board Appeals meeting held on April 16, 2025. Here, case number 250218. First order of business is the election of the chair. This is the first meeting of 2025. Chair had in the past. First, interest in being chair. Would you? Are you?
Well, I think you've done a fine job, so.
I'm happy to relinquish you if you want.
No, that's, I'm good with that.
Nah. So.
I moved that you. The chair. for
For
2025.
2025, and we go so far as to have a vice chair in the absence of the chair.
I can do that.
Okay, we have a motion. Make a motion, we accept. Chair and vice chair. We'll take that as a second, all in favor, and all three need to, vote. I would point out to, the applicant, first to introduce ourselves, so yes.
Roger Hanson.
And I now, probably know Mark.
Mark, code enforcement.
So we would here have you present, who's the applicant, please, and would you state your name for the record?
Sure. You want me to stand here? Or I can sit for this.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Yep, so I'm James Roy, and I'm representing the property on 132 North Shore.
And, sir,
I'm just Ian Washington.
okay, yeah, are you a neighbor or just a citizen that needs to see what we're doing?
Yep.
You're not our liaison, are you?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm on the council, and I'm here just, as they appointed one of the council members to each one of the committees around town, and
Yeah.
I'm the one appointed to the ZBA.
So you're Roy.
Roy Weymouth, yeah.
Okay, for the record, thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome to present, your case to us, should we?
Hey, you want?
We consider that as the last meeting. We should do that in the end, or you want to get it
We
over
usually
with?
do it at the end.
That's, I don't know.
Usually do it at,
Okay, we'll do it.
We should point out too that we
So
are
you,
the member, right? Greg Chamberlain's out of town.
for your benefit, the board's normally 5 people, it's been 4 for a while, and you need 3 votes in the affirmative.
so what is it you're looking for?
Your experience,
So they're
ask me just to. That all 3 present, voted in the affirmative. Wanted to table your case, until there was another member here,
Let's roll the dice.
you could do so. So at this time, you may, present your case.
So this is what the cameras are
Um,
showing.
Your
Okay.
application,
You just
we
Put
have
the video in this
We
one.
will go back and forth
Sure.
at that
I
time.
think it's gonna show you.
Deliberation
It
will
was.
close.
I know.
Deliberation among
I
the
know.
board,
You don't need
you
to.
cannot, solicit input from you.
Was it, I apologize.
But if you think you have additional information that you'd like. us
So
to
sorry.
share, just raise your hand and we will typically reopen the public part of the hearing. So, the floor is yours. Sir.
Okay, like I stated, I'm here representing the property that I bought from my deceased mother and my stepdad, who's still alive, on 132 North Shore, which he's lived at since the mid-90s, 97. So backstory on that was, as you know, most properties around here were divided up. This was from 1933, was the back part of the property. It was the old stage that used to come up to Island Park. So it's a small property, non-conforming. Forever, they've lived there, they parked on someone else's property. probably you can see from the plot plan is 90 by 50. And the building itself sits in the middle of that parcel. And I tried to get a piece of the property that they've been parking on over the last 30 years or so. But was already deeded from another deed, from MUBD, is my understanding. And plus, it was an inadequate parking space. I mean, it was, if you look at the map, it's 4 feet by 30. They didn't use that as parking space. So essentially, there's no parking there. I have purchased the place. I do plan on renovating it, knowing it was a gamble that I would be facing the board and getting property. So I do have a contractor in line, Longfellow Landscaping, who has done this sort of work before. Currently, the retaining wall that's there is an old, it's not necessarily railroad tied. I think it was probably PT, but that was put up in the 90s as well, and it is failing. It has probably a 20-degree list on it now. It's ready to fail and fall on the road. By the pictures, you can tell that the road egress is the retaining wall runs right on the edge of the road. So what I'm proposing is to replace that failing wall that's there now. I'm hoping that we can push that back maybe a foot off the road, because currently it's literally on the road. Foot off the road to get a little bit wider egress for EMS and fire rescue down there, because it's an old narrow camp road.
Troy, can you come up to the podium?
Sure.
Speaking on the microphone that way, it's
Yeah.
recordedly being better.
Yeah, sure. So going back to the road, it is a 1-lane road that's in front of the camp. So what we're proposing is to use larger, they almost look like granite, but they're a cement product. It's going to be a much better retaining wall. But within that, I would like to dig out a little bit of space to allow for 2 parking. So essentially the lawn that's there now, I'm going to use up. What I would like to do is use up the park, and that way I'm not at the mercy of my neighbors to allow them to park there. Like I said, right now, there's no deeded parking. There's no parking on that property. We would carve out, I know my drawings are probably, 3rd grade material, but I think if you get an idea, if you have any questions, please ask what we're proposing to do. I got a call from Jay, his name, last name. He's one of the neighbors. He spoke with all the other neighbors except for Matt. I don't have his last name. I'm just learning everybody down there. And he's the only one they get in contact with, but they're happy to come in and speak in my case if need be, try to get this project going. But like I said, either way, the wall has got to be replaced. And I'm just looking at 2 spaces of parking there in front. So there's the variance I'm asking for, go from 20 feet down to 6 feet. I've been in contact with the water district, been in contact with, the Augusta Water District and the local sewage down there. They've looked down and they said there shouldn't be a problem. Everything is very where it should. Basically what I'm asking is for 2 parking spaces for a failing retaining wall. As you look at the pictures, you'll see that the camp is on your left-hand side looking at the picture. That first wall would be removed, and we would push that retaining wall that's there back into the property, and that's where I would have parking, driving in parking. Yeah, so that wall would be gone and pushed back far enough so that that would be the start of the driveway, is what I'm looking to do there. it does, the property does need a lot of love. I guess you always buy the worst property in the best neighborhood. I think that's the way it's done. Successful there. You folks have any questions for me?
Yeah, I was there this afternoon,
Okay, wonderful.
and so I took a few extra pictures, but they're essentially show the same thing. That's a very unique situation. That's a very narrow stretch of road.
Yes.
As I met one of your neighbors while I was parked there in the middle of the road taking pictures, and I had to back up quite a ways to
Oh, yes,
get out of the road so he could get by me.
right.
So when I'm standing facing the camp, in the house, where was the parking that your mother and stepfather were using?
So if you're standing looking at the camp, if you put your left hand out, there's a little piece of, on the other side of the road, it's like 5 feet wide and probably 28 feet long. So on the other side of the road, there's a little shelf there where my stepdad parked and my mom would park in Jerry's dirt park right in front of his camp. So if you're looking at my place, this house here to the left with the large, you know, the tall front facade, she would park there. So, and that gentleman owns both those pieces currently. And that little piece that I was trying to get from him is the deeded part that was deeded to that property way before him. He was.
So, what's the reason for not continuing to use those 2 parking spaces?
I just want something more permanent because that property could change hands. Right now, I'm in good standings with Jared, and you know, the next property owner could come along and say, no, and I'm out of parking. So I just want to resolve this issue now that I'm rehabbing this place and just try to get it legal so I don't have to worry about making someone upset because I snow blow somewhere and then he comes off my parking. So that's what I'm looking to do, is get some permanent parking there.
Is that an association road?
No.
That's,
Well, I want to say no because there's no fees, but it is taken care of by the neighbors.
Oh.
Yeah, so my stepdad used to plow that out, but he's right now basically living in Tokens until whenever. So Paul Bloom is taking up the plowing part of the during the winter. And we just all chipped in last fall for new tar on part of that stretch. We hired out some new pavement there because that was in pretty bad shape. So the nice thing about that group is they want to take care of the place. They wanted to keep it nice. And I think that's why they're hoping that I can do some nice work in this place to bring it back to life.
yeah, it's clear it needs some work, and it's clear that retaining walls reaching the end of its useful life.
Yeah, I thought this winter with the thaw freeze cycles, it did take a little bit more, especially right by those steps that go up.
Yep.
It did take a little bit more, so I think we probably got another year or 2 at the most with that before it falls into the ground.
So if you were to do this, it would make sense to do it now. Make a parking space now, because you've got to do this work with the retaining wall, and it's fairly extensive. You don't want to put a retaining wall in, replacement now, and then later on find you need a parking space and
Right.
have to do. It's a matter of time, taking care of it now rather than waiting until later, because you've got to do the
Yeah,
retaining wall work.
right. The retaining wall alone is costing me $60,000, so I'm pretty invested into that property, you know, trying to bring it back.
But you're looking to put, you're looking to put 2 retainings. The first one would be this one, you're gonna push that back,
That would go back.
and then this one over here, you wanna bring it,
Just so I don't really encroach into the rest of my land, but I'd like to get it off the roadway a foot. And
so
widen
you're trying to move it back a little bit, so you,
into my property, yes.
and then you're gonna put your parking here instead of,
Exactly, yes. Yeah,
I'm looking at the plan and it shows new retaining wall, you know.
yeah, so they're not, so the old one The new one on the long stretch is pretty much gonna be in the same place. I'm hoping to get that off the road a little bit, especially for plowing and stuff. You can see the scars on it, looks like a whale.
So you're moving it away from the road,
Away from the road.
away from the road.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get at least a foot off.
I'm like, the other guy, I went up there and I looked, and I said, boy, I wouldn't want to live here.
Yeah, it's,
Because of parking and the road condition.
yeah, it's a small lot, it really is. But I think it could be a nice property, but it's gonna need some work.
What are you gonna do about the stairs?
Well, that's so from where the road is, where that first retaining wall is, where that 90 wall is. The driveway's pretty much gonna just ease right off at the same level of the road there, so there won't be a need for stairs.
You won't need it.
Yeah, the little stairs that are there will be gone because, where the road meets the
You'll
top.
be even with the door.
Yes, yeah. You know, in the wall, the long wall, will be, higher off the road still. And that's what.
How high I'm gonna make it?
About the same height as that, so it's gonna be like 3.5 feet. Yeah. I'm not adding any height to the road, or any levels, of the wood lawn, the grass that's there, where those couple of bushes are.
So you're showing,
Oh, no, Griffin.
I was gonna say, you're showing me a diagram, 46 feet, so I believe you said in your comments that you want space for 2 vehicles.
Just 2 vehicles, yes. Yeah, because I think minimal, like, I was trying to look for state codes and they require 10 feet by 18. I think it's 18 per vehicle. So I was just trying to make it a little longer, because part of that lawn will be gone. That's there now by that front door. That's kind of lawn, that'll be gone. And some sort of aggregate that allows for proper drainage.
So the 1610 that you're showing, this is for the front of the house. I assume it's to the edge of the pavement.
Yes, yeah.
And you're really, if I'm interpreting this correctly, you want the space far right-hand side of the parking space, far left-hand side of this parking space to line up with the walls of the house. Okay?
Yeah,
So
so
that's why you're,
parking will be like this, and in front of the house.
so what I'm saying is the width is going to approximate the width of that front part of the house, so that this side of the parking space is lined up with that wall. Would that be the west wall?
It would be the west wall, that west wall will be pushed back, yeah, basically almost to the plane of the house, if you
Well,
will.
that's what I'm getting at.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
And the same thing on that indentation on the right-hand side, in the middle of the house, I guess I should say.
that's gonna come off, hopefully a foot off the road, so that's not gonna go all the way to the house, that'll remain pretty close to where it's at now, the longer part of that wall. And just, I'm hoping to push that back a foot off the wall, still have enough room, parking.
Can comment in the application.
No, I haven't got anything, and nobody's called or said anything, so. As far as, the-
And you're, 20 to 60, I'm just trying to understand this, the actually improvement, if the wall's at 0 feet now, and he's moving it back.
I mean,
it's
I think you're-
it's all of the reduction.
I mean, it does, it's better for the road, I'm just gonna make it bigger.
I think your minimal is 20.
Yeah.
You're right, I'm at 0.
So what you're proposing is it's an improvement, but the variance is still required because the work is going on.
Where it is.
And the 6 feet, you concur with this drawing and the applications
Yep.
for it.
The way he's got it here, his 1610 is gonna be to the outside of the wall. But if he's gonna push the wall in, so it's gonna be. He's 1610 at the end.
That first part of the wall,
Yeah, will become a log pile. Will be 1610 from the house, in line with the house.
yes, the longer part, sir.
And how far back are you gonna push that other wall?
I'm hoping to go to the side of the house. Yeah.
Even with the side of the house, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
It's consideration, outside, in terms of impervious.
I'm gonna look more into that, because this is kind of a split zoned house, because it is far back, so I'm gonna dig into that a little bit. Yes. Part of it's
Sure.
actually general residential, so. Which gives them more impervious in the general residential zone, so I haven't looked exactly where it is on the map.
Will this work actually be in the shoreline?
It's very close, it's there, I think the backside or near the house is shoreline, so yeah, I think the front part of it is, and the backside isn't.
That side of it,
Yeah, it's pretty far back.
is it more than 200 feet?
It's, no, I don't know exactly the exact number. I didn't look at the map to see how far back it is, but part of that, it's not a big lot. So you took that deck off out back? Is that, yeah,
No, there's a deck
Yeah.
still there. I'd like to shrink it down.
yeah,
Yeah. There's too much deck back there. to Repair it.
Well, if that's shoreline, we should say the road setback's 40 feet.
no, no ordinance, you guys gotta get new ordinances.
Well.
So yours is a little outdated, it's 20 feet now. Road setback is 20 feet. They went with that. So, because a lot of what they have to do is push structures when they want to rebuild back towards the road or away from the lake. So by dropping the 40 to 20, that gives them 20 more feet that they can actually push it back before they have to come see you guys. So we're trying to eliminate. Sorry, you guys, meetings for you guys. So it's 20 feet now. Yeah. Yeah. And I believe it's 10 on the sideline setback. So that's changed a little bit. I'll get you guys copies of the new. I didn't know Don had, yeah, no, I'll get them. Yep.
What's the other change of those?
Not much there. I mean, just that, as far as what you were looking at. So that's why it's the 20. 6 down to 20 or 20 down to 6. So.
Any other?
Structure, so. Probably not, it's just that, we would really like to get parking so that we're not. And to beautify the place, I think adding that wall that, I'm sure you guys know what we're talking about. Granite, they look like granite. Will, spruce up the place a little bit.
Have you talked with any of your neighbors, are they in agreement with this?
Yes, everybody, so Jay Rowe, he lives at the end. He called all the neighbors except for Matt, who lives right on the water, and I get his last name. They're all in agreement, and they said that if I needed them, they would come talk to you. And I said, well, let me just present the case first, but, they're looking forward to that place looking a little better. And right now, you can see the scar marks on the side of the plow hits because of all this leaning into the road. And again, I think it needs to be replaced, and it's becoming a hazard, especially for, I'm looking at, I turned 60 this year, so now I'm thinking about how does EMS get down to me? That's I'm approaching a different part of my life, so I'm just looking to make egress for the rest of the neighbors down there a little better.
Any questions of the board for the applicant?
I'm good.
I'm looking at the photos, and if he's gonna move that wall that way off the road, which is a narrow road anyway. That would be beneficial. To the road maintenance. Because you say a neighbor takes care of it. I know that one well.
Yeah,
me and another neighbor take care of our private road. I want to pay him, but it is.
right. That's why I'm hoping, the other reason, not just for EMS, but for, like you said, maintenance of the road, getting that off, that longer part, trying to get that off at least a foot. So that they have a better, I mean, it's almost a plow width getting down there. It's a narrow spot. I've been taking care of it for 2 winters now. And they've gotten stuck a couple of times while I was there.
Here without, a motion to close the public portion of the hearing.
So moved.
All in favor? At this time, you're welcome to take a seat and
Okay.
if we cannot interact with you in our deliberations, but if you feel we're not understanding something or you'd like to add additional information, try to get our attention and discussion amongst the board.
Have you guys been down there?
I went down.
I went down today.
I went down the other 2 days ago, and even then, you know, I live on a Roger Road, and I know what it's like. I don't have this problem. But if they're doing maintenance on the road, you know, that wall would be definitely a place they could get hung up, you know, or hit it, do some damage to it. So if they move it back a foot and put a concrete wall up there, which I think, and he said 3 feet, so, yeah. That's 2 of those blocks tall, which,
And
but he's gonna be removing soil from this side. He wants to align it with the corner of the house, so he's gonna come out. Have a measurement on it. He wants it to be 18 feet from the corner of the new wall back to the other sidewalk, so he's gonna be removing a fair amount of earth in there. Probably not more than 30 yards, maybe.
so
30, 40 yards.
the application before us is to a
He
reduction.
didn't have anywhere that, you know, he was removing, how much he was gonna be removed. I was looking through the notes. I couldn't find anything that says how much he's gonna be removing. You know, it doesn't make a difference if I think it's making the wall better.
So the application before us is to road setback front yard reduction from 20 to 6. I would note that on this occasion, the setback is actually increasing even though we're looking at a reduction, the setback from the road to the new proposed wall is actually an increase in setback.
But
On the opposite.
But as Mark said, he's in the shoreline zoning on the back side, and, you know, if it doesn't encroach on shoreline.
Well, I mean, I think this is a very unique situation. I suppose a very technical application of the ordinance. We probably could make an argument for rejecting this, but I don't, in this particular instance, I think there are extenuating circumstances. Is particularly considering the width of that road. That, you know, it made me nervous backing up on it, trying to get out of the way of the neighbor that was coming through, and I thought, Jesus, this is not a particularly safe situation, especially after you're parking on the side, that like probably is. So I think there could be an argument made just from the perspective of safety. So from that perspective, I probably will consider supporting this variant.
But as I view this as an actual improvement, granting of the variance as an improvement.
Yeah.
In what he's asking for over the current situation.
I mean, like you say, given down that road, you got stuck in there with a fire truck or an ambulance. We had a big snowstorm.
Which would be alleviated by project of moving a retaining wall. Without having to consider the parking space, but the fact that there is no parking there currently, that the parking that is available is right on the edge of the road.
Yeah.
And it's just not a very good, safe situation.
If he moves it back, he moves it off the road. So he can make a better retaining wall. It's gonna be safer for that road, and the parking issue. That's up to what he does with it after he puts the wall in. It's gonna be a freestanding wall, which is gonna have to have a base put in the ground. If I'm not mistaken, you should have at least one layer in the ground to support 3 feet up. Which would be. I did. I work with a guy that does earthwork, and I know what he's gonna have to do. You know, we all have instructions for it.
Any other deliberation? So the chair would enter a motion
So
to vote on case number 250218, specifically for road setback front yard reduction from 20 feet to 6 feet. It's moved. Had our discussion, seconded, all in favor? And you want me to, or do you want to?
all right, in case of 250218, request by James Roy to reduce the road setback from 20 to 6 feet. I move that the land in question cannot grant a reasonable return without a variance.
Second.
All in favor, or any discussion? Skip the step, but
I move that the need for the variance is due to the unique circumstances of the property, not to the general conditions of the neighborhood. Just will serve.
any discussion? All in favor? The record show all in favor.
The granting of variance will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood.
It was not. So, okay, second that.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Let the record show all are in favor.
I move the hardship is not the result of action taken by the applicant or prior owner.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Let the record show all are in favor, and then a motion in the affirmative. I can do that. Okay, for case number 250218, James Roy, road setback front yard reduction from 20 feet to 6 feet. The board, the chair would entertain a motion to grant this variance as presented to.
Make the motion, move to grant the application of variance.
So we have moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? And let the record show. Let the record show all are in favor. So Mr. Lloyd, your variance has been granted. And
Now back to my lap. Now I'm back in my lap.
Yeah, any
Yeah.
additional.
And you guys get your minutes from the last meeting to approve.
Yeah. You're welcome to hang around, but you don't have to.
You don't hear.
Can I raise my hand and speak? Sure. Appreciate your help with this, guys, and, well, my wife would be happy. So, yeah, well, but, again, thank you very much. And
What we discussed. Yep.
yeah, and I'll get back with you, especially when
aggregate and stuff like that you'd like to see.
Okay, well,
Thank you,
thought out,
gentlemen.
thank you.
Have a good evening.
Yeah, he was one.
Under the minutes.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, okay, so we have a motion to accept the minutes as presented,
So
I'll second that motion.
and all in favor? Let the record show that all were in favor of approving the minutes, and no discussion was necessary.
anything else?
I mean, the only other additional business I have is I'm working, trying to get Colin Clark in here for Maine DEP to go over shoreline zoning, and it'll be an evening, probably a couple hour evening adventure. So when he does, I'm gonna let you guys know, because probably would really like it if you guys showed up, because it really, I don't know yet. I'm trying to nail him down. But when I do, I'll let you guys know, and see it. It's good. It's a good class. It basically goes over the shoreline zoning from, you know, A to Z, and just
Feedback from the town council?
No.
you're adjourned.
Done?
We're gonna shut this thing down.
We're gonna be adjourned.
So,
Motion to adjourn, second.
and all in favor?
Yeah, right.
Hey.
Not to do it.
Pick it up.
Waiting to do that.
Yeah.